What's good, y'all? It's your boy JusB, and welcome to the JusB Show. Now, today, y'all, man, it's gonna be a good one. We got Mr. Benjamin Austin from the BSN network on Facebook, y'all. Let me tell you about this group from what I know, man. I'm in this group, and I used to be in there even deeper than I am now, but I've been so freaking busy lately. But I always tend to chime in because they're always dropping gems. They're always giving great information. And it's not just Ben. It's the whole group. Like, it's so many. I believe it's Ben. It's people off the top that I can name is Ben, Shannon, Lauren, Willow, Big Maddie. Shout out to Big Dog. It's so many people that's in this network of people, this network group that are dropping so many gems and helping each other and supporting each other. And I love it. And I love it. I love it. So when I seen Ben ask a question, who wants to interview me? I was like, me. I do. And he chose to come on my show first. And I respect that. So let me introduce my boy, my homeboy, Benjamin Austin. How you doing, big dog?
What's going on? How are you? That was a great introduction, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah. It was well deserved, sir.
Awesome.
It was definitely, it was
like that. And I'm glad that you brought up the team because it's not about, as you know, it was never about me. It was about the people around me and the people I want to surround myself with. And you, and you're part of that too, because you've been part of our journey. You were part of it, and then you kind of said, "We're going to do our own thing," and here you are now. And I'm like privileged to come on your show. So thank you for having me on your show. Appreciate it.
Man, you're welcome. You're welcome. Some of the people already tapped in. Let's see who tapped in with us already. We got Lauren Johnston. Yay, hey Ben. Yo, let me say, Lauren is a vibe in herself. She is so happy all the time, and I love it about her. So shout out to Lauren.
She's a great energy, great person.
Yes, most definitely. We got DJ Flawless Sin City. What's up, big dog? He's a great DJ, guys. This show is about more than just networking. It's about everything. It's about the quality of people. It's just about being great, you know? So all of these people that's tapping in are awesome. We got the big dog himself, Matthew Evans. Whoop, whoop. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's drop a couple more, then we're going to get started. Donald Cunningham, he was on here. I know you guys remember Donald Cunningham. He is the guy that's going to tell you about your money. Let's get it going. Who else we got? Eric Lynn, Scotty Cowell, Cole. I don't want to ruin your name, sir. I'm sorry. But that's awesome.
Oh, King Scotty, because that guy is a live video master. I would say he's a king. So
okay, cool. That's dope. So yeah, we definitely need to tap in with him. I might need to get some advice.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let me just say this, man. Before we get started, you know, since we have all of these people tapping in with us and viewing this, I need everyone that's on here watching right now to share it. Share it. We're going to be talking about great, amazing things. We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about being in the team's BSN network. We're going to talk about some great things that's coming up in the network. And we're going to talk about Ben, because I know some of us got questions about who exactly he is. We're going to talk about podcasting, guys. We're going to talk about as much as possible with the next 45 minutes to an hour. So please share this post. And if you don't know Ben, make sure you go and follow him on the BSN network. And if you're on IG, at the very bottom in that ticker down there, it tells you follow Ben at Benjamin Austin _78 on Instagram. Make sure that you do that. And you know you got to follow the JusB Show. That's come on now. So Ben, let's start like this, man. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Oh man, that's one of those questions where we practice. Who am I? Well, first of all, my name is Benjamin. Nice to meet you. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for joining us in the JusB Show. And I'm so used to saying our show, right? And who am I? I would say I'm just kind of I would say this is my story where I'm that story. I have that story where I would never say rags to riches because I'm not rich, but my goal is, I would say, um, maybe, let's say, the hardships through wins, right? That's probably what I would say is, I have had a lot of challenges in my life from the beginning, and we share that, and that's something I always tell people in the beginning when we first meet, or we've never met, just to share, like, hey, you know what, this isn't I didn't nothing was given to me easy. You would say, right? Everything was like, if something was, it would always get taken away, or I wasn't something I really truly earned. And let me give you a little quick story. When I was a kid, let me tell you how my life worked. And this
Let's do it.
When I was a kid, I would enter these contests, these sales contests. I love sales, and I would sell these. I got entered into this contest. I think it was like in 5th grade, and the contest was to sell gift wrap. And I went door to door. I wasn't afraid of people telling me no, and I was out there knocking everyone's door, selling to my neighbors. And then what ended up happening is I turned in my sales, and I thought I was going to win this contest. And of course I didn't. What happened? There was a little girl next to me, right? Her dad worked at an office, and they did well. And all he had to do is turn in the order form to his employees, and she won this big contest. And that was my first experience in learning that the people that you know, or the people around you, or the people that you know are really going to help you in life. Because nothing wrong with the people that I knocked on their doors. It wasn't wrong about it. There was nothing negative about that. What it is that the dad knew just more quality people, just knew more people, and they respected him as an authority. And when he came out and gave those that order form, it was an easy sale, easy win. And that's kind of the same thing I've done for my kids and my family too. In my life is, I've done that for my family. Is, when my daughters were in Girl Scouts, and when it's time for them to sell cookies, right? I made them go to door.
Okay.
But, we did go to door. We have, at the same time also, I just, threw the order form to my coworkers or around me, and they bought a bunch of cookies, and it was a great experience. So that's where my first lesson was in building a network, or trying to find the right people in your life.
Right.
So that's kind of like a little introduction. And the prize was a Superman coloring sticker book.
I love it.
I was so bummed, man. But
I love it, man.
So from there, I just got into sales, and from there, I understood that I had to really connect, learning the connection game, learning your building, meeting people, and really letting people know a little bit about yourself. But at the same time, I was always holding back on who it really was, right? That sharing that struggle, sharing the pain, sharing that. It was always like, and that's what a lot of people do in sales. But as I got further along in the social media game, I think I had to be real. I had to come out and tell people who I really was. I would never have shared that story 2 years ago, or 2 years ago. I've never told that. That story would have hurt me, and I'd probably be like calling, like distraught, like, oh God.
Right.
But yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
Hey, man, well, thanks for opening it up on the show. And I don't know what it is, but every time somebody gets on the show, they always tend to open up. So thank you for being vulnerable enough to tell us, a part about who you are. But hold on, let me zoom you in real quick. You guys, he said he went from rags to riches, and he ain't rich, but he got dollar signs on the back wall right there. How much money is that, Ben?
Yeah. It's about $50 actually.
Oh man!
Uncut. These are uncut dollar bills.
Nice.
From the press. So don't ask me how I got that. I can't
tell you. Right? Wait a minute. You got access to the press machine?
Don't ask. Let's just say I can't tell you that.
Okay, it's a secret. We gonna keep that in the BSN archives right
People,
there.
those are uncut. Those are all. It's a sheet of $1 bills.
Oh man, yeah, that's pretty
Dude,
awesome, man.
trying to
Oh
find
look, Scotty says I said the same thing. That's lovely, man. That's great, man. So, again, thanks for telling us a little bit about who you are and all of that kind of stuff. So, you told us that you were in the sales, but as far as right now, besides BSN, what do you do for a living?
Okay, yeah, so a little bit about me, and it's always a shocker. I do work in luxury sales and retail. It's retail, luxury, and sales. At first, I'll tell you a little bit about my history. I first started working for Nordstrom 7 years. I was one
Okay.
of the top salespeople. I worked in the women's shoe division. I was a sales trainer there. I've been in the women's shoe world. I worked with buyers. I worked with designers. I worked in LA. I worked in studio services, working with celebrities, really connecting
Nice.
with people. It was a great experience. Then 7 years with Nordstrom doing that. Then what happened is I went back to. I was originally from the Northwest. Then I don't know if you remember, it was during the Las Vegas boom when everyone was like buying houses in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Thing, and Nordstrom was going to open at Fashion Show Mall. And so I was one of the team members that came and opened at Nordstrom at Fashion Show Mall,
Oh,
and
okay.
that was a great experience. I opened Nordstrom racks, Nordstrom store. So I was out there, putting together, when you're a top salesperson, when you're a top producer, wherever you want to go, you can go.
Right.
So that's the beautiful thing about Nordstrom at that time. But then here in Las Vegas, it opened my eyes to a whole different world of retail. I mean, we have the forum shops. I remember walking through the forum shops and seeing stores like Gucci, Ferragamo.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, Versace. And I was connecting with these people. And I had friends that were there during that time. They got in the home business, they got in the mortgage business, and they were making killer money. They were out there partying, having a good time. And they were out there shopping and buying all that stuff. And during that time, it was a new part of the forum shops that just opened. I don't know if you
Okay.
remember. It used to be like a Sony store there. It used to be a Versace home store.
Yep. I always was in Versace.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of celebrities shop in Versace. I remember, that they keep the doors shut for a reason. So
Hmm.
because they know who's coming into well, but I ended up working. I got recruited to work for a store called Bally of Switzerland. It's a men's line, old luxury company, and that's where it's kind of like an old money store, right? Where I got to. It wasn't busy, but I was able to really work my craft and understand like who these people were with money, right?
Okay.
These are like people from Europe, England, having these communications. You meet people like with only a certain client knew understood this brand.
Right.
That was we had events and we would do all these things. So I was really understanding how to build that pipeline of people. Well, after 7 years of doing that, we had a store at the Crystal Shopping Center. I helped open that fashion show, and at the forum shops. I left them to work for. I worked for a company with first name Coco, last name Chanel, right? Um,
Hey.
yeah, and I really don't really push that so much. Reason being is because I don't. I would say I'm trying to build my own name, right? Like trying to build my name. So I don't
Right.
want to. Oh, this is who I am. But I guess my experience in time, maybe when my journey ends there, I'd love to get more into the stories and really tell people because there is some um,
Yeah.
privacy things, right? I can probably say some things that I can say, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of great experiences a lot
Yeah.
of stories that I have that people would never believe, but it really happened. Like it really happened.
Yeah, man,
Uh,
that's great though.
yeah. So worked for them, and I've been there with them for almost 10 years, actually 10 years. And I started at the Bellagio. After the remodel there a few years ago, about 9 years ago, there was a remodel, and I helped reopen that store. And there's something that a lot of people don't know about me, but one of the things is
Dun dun dun.
I was the first shoe specialist at the Bellagio, meaning that Chanel said, "Hey, you know what? we're gonna give you your own business to run, and they gave me the shoe department to run, and that was like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened, and that was an amazing experience. That was just, it wasn't necessarily, I did have, a boss, but we're talking about just, this is your area. You're
Right.
in charge of sales. You're in charge of running it. You're in charge of producing, and let's see what happens. And with that, I was able to show the numbers, and I couldn't handle it anymore because the numbers were so much that I had to bring a partner in. I brought another partner in. And then after that, we built a great teamwork. Right, it was teamwork. That's the great partnership with my. She may watch this. Rochelle, she's a good friend of mine. We call her my work wife because we built that relationship, and then we brought someone else in on board and help because we needed the help again. So we ended up with 3 shoe specialists, and then we have another boutique at the at the Wynn Hotel.
Okay, at the Wynn.
And yeah, at the Wynn, and they implemented the same system because they knew that business was very important in the boutique, right? Because driving sales so much. So that's a little bit about me, and so put together a system, finding the right people, find the right people for your business. I mean, there's women out there that love to shop only love to shop for shoes. And they love to spend the money, and I had to go out there and find them, and that's what I did, and I built that business. And a lot of my business is I did it on the phone. A lot of that business, I was running, I would say easily over 100,000 a month on just by myself. Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing, man.
That was and we're talking, and a lot of that was coming home too. So I understand. Bringing, and people say, oh, you don't have your own business or anything like that. I really don't. You're the first person I ever really told that to. You're the first person I ever told. I mean, besides, co-workers and stuff like that. So that's about it. That's a little bit about that. But after that, that's when about a couple of years ago, I started seeing. I don't know. I just started feeling like there was something that else I needed to do, right? I was helping people with their sales at work, and I was helping motivate, and I was showing them all my tricks, and I was like, yeah, it's good. And then I got into, I joined a Facebook group, Las Vegas group, and I helped build that, but it wasn't really my group. It wasn't my group. I had to follow their rules, and like, and they weren't monetizing it, or they weren't it was just a repost. And anyways, to make a long story short, I started studying Facebook groups, and I started studying Facebook, and I started to understand how can I come into this world and share who I am. So I joined a couple home businesses, couple MLMs, was successful, made some money off of it. And then I was like, that's not really what I want to do. I don't want to be like an MLM guy. I mean, I love MLM, don't get me wrong, but that's not really me. I don't want to be known for that. And plus MLM, I went through 2 companies where I built it up 2 times, and then the company failed through, right? There's always a fall through with these companies. So that was and then restructuring, and it was like too much. So with that, I started trying to figure out what else. And I was at the same time, when you're recruiting, when you're building a team of people in your home business, you also have to teach them how to market themselves on social media, how to be themselves, and do all that. And all of a sudden, it just kind of started graduating, right? The communication, the nuggets, the coaching, and then BSN, and I met Matt, and I met Lauren, and everything started coming together in our team. And then that's when I said, you know what? I need to really, really step back and really think about what I really want to do with what I really need to do on social media. And I found I'd rather just go out. I need to go out there and help people. And a lot of it is mindset. We always talk about mindset.
Yeah.
A lot of people go into business. A lot of people go into sales. A lot of people want to network, but there is challenges in front of that. And a lot of people don't know how to handle that challenge, or they don't know how to deal with it. Or maybe it's their family. They don't get that support. They're not getting that encouragement. Or maybe they just have like something about themselves. There's a drive in them, or there's a fire in their heart, or there's a thought, and they don't know how to go about it. And that's where BSN comes along. And that's where I said, you know what? maybe it's time to do something different where we're helping people out in BSN, where we're encouraging, we're motivating people, where people can network. And it's not about just pitching your business or about pitching, trying to sell you something. It's about changing people's lives. And that's what we've been doing every single day. I see get the stories.
You really have. So do me a favor and tell them what BSN stands for the people that don't know.
Business sales and networking for pros, BSN. That's what it stands for. We first started, we always graduate. If you're thinking about starting a Facebook group, one of the things is who is the group for, right? Who is that? Who is the group for? So at first it was buy, sell, and network, because I was just trying to copy it. I didn't know anything. But then at the end it was just, when Maddie joined, we're working with business. We're working with business people. We're working with salespeople, and we're working with networkers out there. And then we say for professionals, and the reason why, because we have a group of professionals in the business. We just had a post where I asked people what do they do, and we had like over 100 people posting, and they were like all professionals. Like, I'm a lawyer. I have this business. I have my own AC business. I have my own web design company. I'm like, wow, like I can't believe I'm connected with all these people in this group where they're just. It's like my network, and like if I need help with something, I can go, you know what, I need that connection, and that's where, and you're part of the group too. It's like
I am.
You're part of the group too. If I need to connect with a podcaster and share something, I connect with you. So it's great. It's a great way, and we have a team of people that I was able, as we got along to the journey. That are sharing information, that are sharing their journey, right? We have someone like Lauren, who is on there live. She owns her own balloon company, entertainment company, and she's out there sharing her information on running a business, right? And she goes into she has her wins and her losses for the week. She'll share that. Mm-hmm. We have another gal named Amber. She's a women's coach, and she's out there sharing her. She has her own. She's out there consulting with people. So every day there's live videos, information going out there and helping people in BSN, and that's kind of it's maybe something they learn that they're sharing, something that maybe it's a challenge for them, and you're able to do that in BSN. So it's kind of weird coming. You're going into the live here.
No, man, that's awesome. You know what? And let me say this. Normally, I try to cut the answers a little shorter, but I allowed it out for one simple reason. You told me that this was your first time really interviewing and getting out there on the other side of the camera, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to speak out, and I respect that. So this next question I'm gonna ask you. Okay. Hey Ben, were you nervous about today's interview?
I was nervous about today's interview. Look, I was prepping, and let me tell you about how my day went.
Please do.
I told my wife today I'm the last minute guy, right? So she found out this morning, and I was supposed to take my daughter to she was supposed to get like a vaccine, not that vaccine, but meningitis.
Okay.
I was supposed to take her at 3:00. My wife goes, you need to take your daughter to the doctors at 3:00. I said, oh, I have an appointment at 4:00. I said, oh. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, oh. I said, let's see if we can reschedule. So fortunately, we were able to reschedule it. We got in there at 10:30, got everything out of the way.
Great.
And I was prepping, and I'm like, I got to shave, and and the way I calm myself as I go in I take a hot bath. I took a hot bath, relaxed, put myself in, got into the right mindset, and really tried to clear my throat, because our mouth gets dry. So here if I'm drinking a lot of water.
Hey, I had to get some before we started, y'all.
And if I think is if you ever want to notice someone if they're nervous or not, see how much they're drinking, how much water they're drinking. If they're drinking water. Yeah.
It's okay, because like you and I was speaking in the backstage is, and let me say this to everybody. There's yes, I'm a podcaster. I interview all kinds of people, business people, professionals, non-professionals, people just getting into the industry of whatever they're in. And I'll also interview celebrities. Some celebrities that I've looked up to since I was a child, but now as a man, I'm interviewing them and I'm getting to ask them questions. But I can tell you one thing, the questions that I may have asked them when I was younger is not the same that I asked them as a man. Things change over time. But in order to do that, in order to adapt to any situation, you have to get uncomfortable. Yeah. So by always being on my side of the camera, speaking to you guys, now he's on you guys' side of the camera and I'm speaking to him. So it's totally understandable. And again, I applaud you, as a matter of fact, everybody hit a react button, hit a like, hit a heart, something, and give Ben his props for stepping out of his comfort zone and getting uncomfortable. Because on the what they say, on the other side of fear is greatness. So you have to face the fear to get to being great, to even be able to obtain that feeling. So again, brother, I appreciate you even stepping out. But one thing that I wanted to tap into, just to kind of switch the direction a little bit, is I noticed me and you have something in common that I feel like is very valuable to anybody who decides to study, and that's martial arts. Yeah. So how long have you been into martial arts?
My whole life, since I was 14 years of age. I got into... actually probably even younger. We used to watch the Bruce Lee movies. I try to imitate them, and the ninja movies and all that stuff. And then what happened is I until I would say till my senior year, mm-hmm. I was in karate. I never got my black belt in karate. I got to brown belt. And what happened is there was a guy down the street that started teaching Jeet Kune Do and Jiu-Jitsu.
Nice.
And he kicked my ass. I'm like, okay, I'm going to learn that, right? So I'm going to learn that. So forget karate. He just beat me up. And he wrestled, So I said, okay, cool. And this is the early stages when jiu-jitsu no one really knew MMA. That was UFC wasn't around.
Right.
One of the first schools that was teaching, and it was kind of a mixed martial arts school. So yeah, I studied Jeet Kune Do, the Kali, boxing, kickboxing, and at that time, this is many years ago in the Northwest in Oregon. There was I don't know if some of you MMA guys or UFC guys, if you know, ever heard of Team Quest, that was with Evan Tanner, Randy Couture.
Yeah, I remember that.
West, when they were young, and I was just like an 18, 19-year-old kid. And I didn't know anything at the time. I was just kind of a knucklehead, but I was, watching these guys. They were legit athletes, and they were out there, beating everybody up. So I was just in there just for fun, just kind of like trying to figure this martial art out. And they were just already strong. They were just already killing people. So a couple of years of that, just training, just kind of dab into that until I moved to Las Vegas, and that's when I started really focusing on the jiu-jitsu. And then I got my. To make a long story short, I'm now a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and that's a long journey. But definitely I would say that was a journey where not everyone can get a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. That's something that was, I had to fight a lot of fears, anxieties, stresses, personal doubts that I had about myself, because you mm-hmm. get to a point where you get to a blue belt, you're like, yeah, I got my blue belt. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'm a purple belt. And then you get the brown belt, you're like, shucks, I got to do when does it stop? And it's many years of testing yourself, a lot of times where you do get, it's an emotional art, because things happen to you where you think you're strong, you think you think you're good at it, and then someone comes around and literally kicks your ass.
Literally. Tell him, man. Tell him.
And you're like, I don't think I know what I'm doing. You doubt yourself, right? You go into these moments, and so you go into these competitions, and you go out and compete, and you go out there and you go, I win, and I've lost more than I've won, but the big wins are the best wins. Those are the big wins, right? So I had to lose a lot of little losses to get those big wins, and I understand that. Yeah, so that was a journey. It was a really a big journey, and when I got my black belt, that was probably something where I'm never. I was thinking that's a day I'll never forget, where I got my black belt, and I got my black belt from I also received my black belt from one of the top coaches in the world. It's Gorko Savincian, and I don't know if you know who that is, but that's like he's one of the first UFC coaches for Ronda Rousey. You name it. This is like, Google him, and it's amazing. I was actually talking to my wife, and I was like, where am I going to put my what do you call it? Your portraits and all that stuff. So I'm like, so I don't know. We'll figure.
You better find a spot. You can put them around that money. Your money plaque back there.
And there's my black belt martial art right there.
Hey, congratulations. So
it's nice to have this. This is probably like one of my proudest things that I have, and I don't know where I'm going to put that, but we're trying to figure it out. But it's nice to have. This is
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, have this,
all of my trophies are like in the garage, in a box somewhere. I haven't continued to study it in a while, brother. But you and I, because I studied martial arts for 15 or 16 years as well. Mm-hmm. I was in a mix of karate, taekwondo, kickboxing, capoeira, stuff like that. But we both know it's an art. It's an emotional art at that. Mm-hmm. Like you said, sometimes you win, but a lot of times you lose. And it does make you doubt yourself. But I know, and what we use, what the things that we can take from it to use in our daily life. So I'm going to ask you, how does martial arts help you in your daily life?
It's actually a great question. One of the ways martial arts helps me is strategizing, right? Knowing when to keep your mouth shut, and knowing when to use. I wouldn't say an attack, I would say, but knowing when to go forward when you know that you're right, or when you're right. For example, in sales, right? A lot of us in sales, or a lot of us in this world, there's many times that we get attacked. We may get personally attacked. Maybe something wasn't done right. Maybe someone did something wrong to you, and that's okay. Sometimes you can take those punches, you can take those hits. However, there's times where that I wouldn't say you did the right thing, and that you are in the right, meaning that you did it according to how the training, or how your life experiences has shown you where the results were the correct results. And what I'm trying to, and how do I put this, is to go forward with that, right? Going with your gut, and going, I'm going to go forward with my decision, versus backing out on your decision, or not making an argument, not fighting over things that not necessarily fighting for. I think learning how to pick and choose your battles is a big one, and not every battle has to be won, right? Some things you just let it go. But there's times where you do have to have that communication, and when you say it's direct, and it is sincere, and that person or whomever will understand. Hey, you know what? This person, don't mess with this guy.
That's so true, man. That's so true. And I was waiting for that one to come out. Let me repeat it for the people in the back that may have missed it. He said it teaches you one thing in life. One of the main things that I hang on to what he said was that you learn which battles to fight.
Yeah.
You really do, because even in the business world, every battle isn't worth it. All money ain't good money.
No.
All good networking ain't good networking. And all people that seem good are not. You feel me? So you guys always make sure to hang on to that and realize that pick and choose your battles. You have to pick and choose your battles, whether it's martial arts, with a relationship, with your loved ones, businesses, whatever the case may be. You have to pick and choose your battles, because not every battle can be won. Understand that. You can work absolutely hardcore, does not mean you're going to win. But you're not a failure unless you stop trying. So just always remember that, man. So out of the emotional stuff, now we know a little bit about Benjamin Austin, man. And you're just as dope as I could imagine. So BSN, business, Sales, networking for pros.
Yep.
So I know what networking means for me, and I'll go second, but I want you to go first. What does networking mean to you?
What does networking mean to me? Networking means building a relationship building, is as simple as it, and building real relationships and knowing the levels of the relationship that you have. And you can network with whomever you like. There's different ranges of relationships, and we have people that for example, you just say hello, that's it, right? And there's a person that you just give a hug, and you say, hey, are you want to give them a hug, right? Those are two different types of relationships. So the person that's going to give you it's getting to the hug, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Or that it's the hey man, how are you? Or the fist bump, or it's like the smile, or where you're comfortable, where you know when you mess up, or what you can say something, you can drop you can drop whatever, and that relationship is past past the screw up, right? Because we all screw up, we all mess up, say things we're not supposed to say, and one of the beautiful things, and what I'm trying to say is, in my business, in my industry, the clients that I've created and I've helped, things happen. There's sometimes a package is running late, that doesn't get there, and I'll let the client know, hey, your package isn't going to show up today. Sorry. And they're like, okay, great, no problem, right? Like, because it's me, because I built a relationship, right? They understand that I'm not in control. I've networked with them enough. Now, if I don't have that relationship with them, I need to understand that if that package isn't going to show up the next day, then I really need to engage with that client and really have maybe call them on the phone and explain to them a little bit more detailed, like, hey, FYI, this is not going to happen today. I'm so sorry, but let me try to make it up to you with something else, or whatever. I'll give you a call tomorrow to make sure your package is arrived, right? So even that kind of communication with your clients or the people that you're working with is updating them with the information, updating them with, or let them know what's going on. And that's, to me, is like that's networking. And as you grow your business, or as you grow your pipeline, the people, right? And the people are going to support you and encourage you. So when they see you win, they're going to give you a high five, right? They're going to say, yeah, good job. They're going to go out there and use your name as a resource. They're going to use your information as a source. They're going to use you as a referral. And that's, I would say that's pretty much my gist of the social media networking, or the business and sales networking. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. Everybody has their own answer, but that was a great answer, because networking is about building relationships. I have a few companies that have chose to sponsor me, or want to deal with me or whatever, because of the relationship building skills.
Sure.
And I always tell them, like, that's just networking. I'll be like, I tell them, like, hey, look, in my mind, I'm a master networker, because I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly being open and learning new things. And guys and gals, if you are watching, it has to be constant. That's the thing. You have to be consistently learning. Every day, you should try to learn one thing, if that's something that you want to master. And same with martial arts. We can't just do it and then stop, and then do it and then stop, hoping that one day we'll get to the black belt. No, it's a consistency. You have to be persistent. It has to become your journey. Maybe not a lifelong journey, but until you can get to the point where you say, I know this. You need to consistently be learning on how to do that all the time. So building a relationship is how I do it as well. You said something about, I won't come up to you and be like, oh, I might do a fist bump, but I'll be like, boom, with a big ass smile on my face, like, what's up, y'all? It's your boy. How you doing, man? Yo, I just want to let you know I'm proud of you. And I don't even know him, but maybe I read an article or seen a story about something that they did, and that makes a person feel open. They be like, oh, man, who this JusB guy? Like, I love what he does, man. He makes me feel good. And it builds that relationship, so that if I'm late on the show one day and we're starting late, I'll be like, hey, man, my bad. I'm sorry. Because they know I'm good for it, and they know that I'm trying to master my craft.
Mhm.
You know, so yes, relationship building is definitely key when it comes to networking, and you've literally built an entire relationship with an entire group. How many? What's your number right now? How many people do you got in your group right now?
2,300 over 23 no 2,300 300. So no, it's like 2,300 no 23
Yeah,
3,000
2333.
3,330. I'm sorry.
Ben, I remember when we were at like 20.
Yeah. So remember.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So over 2,300 members, but these are like real people. I mean, these are people that are filling out a questionnaire. They're getting.
Yeah.
They're real people that, and that's just one group. We do have another. We do have our sister group. So we have Live the Good Life. We have our entertainment group, and we do have our We Got Your Back group, which is Maddie's, which he's already at 3,000 members. And
What?
There's so much more that we're doing that's behind the scenes that people aren't seeing, because they're only part of some people are, but there's a lot of things that's happening in the BSN world, and it's not just with BSN, but we got someone like Matt who's out there with We Got Your Back. He's out there helping the community. He's out there, buying, doing buying the dinners for buying the dinners and all kinds of stuff. Every season he's out there, and this all kind of came into play with the whole shutdown. It's been an awesome ride so far. So he's on that side of it. Then we have Live the Good Life, where Lauren, she has her own show. So we have a lot going on.
Yeah, hey, that's amazing, man. But I did want to tap in with that. You said something, or Matt. I noticed that Matt has We Got Your Back. I did not know it was that big already. Shout out to Matthew Evans, man, big dog, big Matt. I watch his stuff, man. He's amazing. He's tall with a deep voice. He's like, yeah, big dog. Whoa. That's my buddy, man. But I always like to ask my guests, like, on a personal level, how are you coping? How are you coping with COVID-19 and the pandemic?
Yeah. So actually, I ended up getting sick. I got sick with COVID.
Okay.
A few months ago. And and my daughter got sick too. So I wouldn't say I didn't say I get the extreme, but I did get some good symptoms where I felt I got sick. I was in bed for a few days. I had to sleep it through. So that I did experience the whole quarantine thing where where I had to separate myself from my family. That was hard. And then my daughter had the same thing happen to her, and we had to make sure no one was getting sick. So I've been through. So if anyone has been through that where they tested positive and had to separate themselves from their family, not go to work, not talk to their friends, and be separated, because this was in the beginning. I understand that was tough. And one of the things that was really helpful during that time is the people that reached out to me, that my friends and family. I had family members like bringing little food things, like bringing me pizza, and it was nice.
Slide it through the window.
Yeah. But I do tell people, if you do end up getting sick, make sure that make sure you take care of your health. That's number one thing, is taking care of yourself physically now. That's one thing that we need to be doing as a society, culture, whatever you want to call it. I'm always going to be preaching that. I'm always going to be, and I'll say preaching. I'll say it. I'm always going to preach that people need to work on their health.
Yeah.
I don't think
it's true.
Right? If you're take your vitamins, go for your walks, do your exercises, the alcohol. I could stop drinking. It's been 2 years since I've had alcohol in my system, in my body. I love beer. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I miss it. But that's something where when I got to a certain age and I realized, hey, you know what? And certain things I needed to change about my life. I said, you know what? Got to cut that out, or I can't do what I want to do.
Right.
So, it's martial art, jiu-jitsu, right? Or I'm here with you. I'd probably be out having a beer right now, relaxing, or not, or
I would have came to the bar.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. But you made it past it. You know, you make those decisions in your life, and think about it. If you wouldn't have let go of alcohol or beer or whatever else it may have been, who's to say that you would have made it through? Maybe COVID-19 would have hit you even harder. You
Exactly. No,
know,
I totally agree. You don't know. I don't know that. I do. Well, I do know. Yeah, your body, your immune system, man. Your immune system is key. So I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor, but I do know you take your vitamins, your vitamin D, take care of your health. You go for a little walk once in a while. You, instead of eating that Big Mac, right? You just eat a
man, I got a Big Mac on. I'm feeling guilty.
lot. I eat a lot. Trust me, I eat a lot. There's nothing wrong with going out to eat and doing those things. Pretty much just cut certain things out. Just cut certain things out in your life that are breaking you down, and you already know that. People already know what it is, and you have to have someone. You need to tell yourself, yeah. And you can't twist people's arms, but don't come to me if. And I can't. I don't know. If you're out there destroying your body every single day, and then all of a sudden you get sick, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be COVID. It could be something else. Yeah. It's going to be hard for me to really go, you know what? Maybe it's your certain decisions that you need to start changing. Just because everybody will start making decisions when shit hits the fan. That's how it works.
Yeah, right? And at the top of every year,
you got heart disease. Oh man, now I gotta. Oh, no, I'm gonna start taking vitamins, and everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. It's like why wait until it's starting to become too late to try to correct it? You know, why wait until it's broken?
Yeah, exactly.
To try to fix it when you can just nurture it now so that it doesn't break. You know, take care of it now so that it has a less of a chance of getting broken. So I definitely understand, man. And wow, congratulations to you, man. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, bro.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be like you one day, and I'm gonna stop drinking alcohol. But I'm not a heavy drinker. I drink socially, you know. And sometimes I don't know, man. I got a bottle for Christmas, from my grandmother. Thank you, Granny. But I'll probably have it for a couple months, you know, and stuff like that. I try to keep it socially and like that. But yeah, and when you get older, it changes. I don't know. It definitely changes. So congratulations to you, and congratulations to anybody else out there who has able to make a positive mindset, change their mindset to be more positive and care about their body. That's great. We got about 10 minutes left, Ben. So I know you wanted to tell them about the newest thing that's coming to the BSN, which is the BSN Masterclass, correct?
Yeah, masterclasses. We're gonna be. This is my dream. This is my focus right now. Is masterclasses in BSN. And what are masterclasses? These are educational classes. We're changing the world, and this is where I started. This is where I got the idea, and this is where I'm inspired by the idea. Is during the whole shutdown, you started seeing people paying money for haircuts on a Zoom lesson. I said, man, this is crazy. Like people are actually going out there and paying $25, $35, $40 to coach someone through a Zoom class, right? And cut someone's hair. Now, here's the thing. What I was seeing is when I was like seeing this happening, we have a lot of amazing people in our group that have value, have my friend Donald, Matt, Ariel. It's just a team of people in our group that have this information. Someone like yourself that would love to teach someone how to do a podcast. We can do a get together and do a podcast, right? Like, excuse me, a master class and teaching your craft or teaching your industry and how people can get into it. And they have the ability to sit down with you and ask you questions. And there's going to be there's steps to getting there. But I was talking to you earlier. I said, how awesome would it be if you can sit down and you inspired a few people to say, hey, you know what? I'd love to do a podcast. I'd love to have, how did you come up with your questions? Your ideas of, questions of like when you were a boy or a man, that was great. And you can, and tell someone, hey, you know what? These are people that I've interviewed, and people want to sign up to listen to you, and you can teach them your craft, or you can teach them your craft. And we're not. It's not about the money. Like I said, this is when I was thinking about it. We're not going to be charging $50, $100 for a seat. It's just a matter of course, there's a price someone has to pay, and that just confirms that they get that seat. But the ability to ask you questions and to break you down and say, you know what, like we were telling, what kind of headphones do you use? What the microphone? What do you think I should buy? Those are all questions. It's sometimes you Google it, right? You Google it, and it gives you like 50 reviews, and you look, man. You know, it doesn't make that. It's not make that's hard. But if you can sit with someone and your time is valuable, we know that your time is valuable, and you can sit down and teach your craft or what you're doing. We're going to give you're going to inspire people to get into, or maybe that's not their thing, or maybe that's really what they want to do. But we're going to go into master classes in BSN. So we have a team of people. I'd love to later on in the future, you can do something like this in our team, and that builds the authority that in your industry too. And when you're teaching it, that means that you are the master. You not necessarily the master, but you are a master of your, right? So just like my black belt in jiu-jitsu, I can go out there and teach a class, and I can have I can go out there and show someone and say, hey, you know what? I can get a group of people around me and show them a technique or an art. And if they have questions, I have the ability to answer those questions. And so that's kind of the idea. Seminar, kind of like a seminar,
Yeah.
We'll have that training module in BSN, and that's going to be something where when new members or new people are coming in, they can sign into the module. And here's the thing: I'm in these other training programs, and people charge for those training programs or those modules, and I don't want to charge people. I just want people to sign in and get inspired from other people that are inspiring. That's the whole idea of it, right? They can sign into the module, they go in there and they see it, and they're like, okay, how to be a podcast. Okay, cool. Oh, there's a video right here. Great, I'll watch it, and it's a video by how to do a podcast, and they'll watch it, and then on the bottom it'll connect with you, and you can connect with them, and you share them. They'll know who you are a little bit more also too. So
that's awesome, kind of man. Yeah, man. Hey, it sounds great, and I'm definitely there to help, man. If I'm down with that. That sounds awesome. We did talk about it previously or whatnot, but to hear it again is always great. Let me say, man, thanks again for coming on the show. Thanks for making me the first one. That's super good. You did great. You definitely did great. If you've watched the show, I know that you probably know at the end, I like to ask you one piece of advice that you would give to someone else, imagine it let's do it like this. Imagine if you were not you. If you were the you that was learning, what's one piece of advice that you would give yourself?
Here's the one thing, guys. Focus on your supporters, not your reporters. Focus on the people that are supporting you and out there. And there's always that one person. If you don't have that one person, you got to go out there and find them and let people know that what you want to do. And if someone says, hey, you know what, good job. I believe in you. Connect with that person and really ask people for your support and your encouragement. And don't be afraid to ask that. Just like you ask for the sale, if you're asking for someone, you have to know how to ask and you got to ask for it. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. And like I said, I asked on my Facebook. I said, who can I go on? And I asked, and here I am today. So thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I like to give pieces of advice as well. I like the way you said that. If you want something, you gotta go for it. You gotta get it. You can't be afraid. I actually have some big news to drop. I dropped it to my Instagram followers, but not to my Facebook followers. I'm the same as you. I wanted to be signed to a label so that I can, so I asked them. I made a video and posted it on Instagram and tagged everybody in their label on there. It was a very, very bold move, but just to put it out there, on the 30th, I'll be signed to that label.
Congratulations.
So thank you. So we'll I'll drop the name and everything like that. I'll make a whole video around it. But networking is key. Relationship building is also the key to being a great networker, as Ben and I have said. And I just want to congratulate the entire BSN network group. Big shout out to Big Maddie, because We Got Your Back is amazing. and it's really beneficial to the people that are struggling during these hard times, during this pandemic. And big shout out to everyone that's watched any of my shows or have been on my shows, because it takes a lot, you know. And even though I'm an easygoing guy and I always ask, like, are you nervous? Or I tell you, like, hey, I'm just regular. You don't have to be nervous. Please believe I understand that it doesn't matter who is on the other side of the camera. By the simple fact that they're asking you questions where you have to dig deep and be vulnerable is a nervous wreck. It'll put anybody, including myself, into a whirlwind for the moment. And then afterwards, when you go back and you watch it, you realize, like, man, I really was nervous, but I really got out the message that was needed to get out. So my pieces of advice besides that, and you guys already know how I do it, I need you to smile, laugh, and definitely motivate. Inspire one to inspire all. And last but not least, drop it. And be better than yesterday.